Yeah.
of the
Oh,
long-term effects?
absolutely.
Okay, we are back on.
Yes,
We're back on
please
now.
do.
Sorry, folks. We disappeared for a while. There are technical issues on our end, and we're going to be waiting for. We might want to give a little more time for people to catch up and find the link.
Yep.
In the meantime, I need to post the actual link so that it's
Okay,
easier for
good.
them to
While you're
find
posting
us.
the actual link, ladies and gentlemen, we were talking about Leronlimab, the new breakthrough in COVID treatment for mid to late stage. Am I right? Mid to late stage,
Yes,
no treatment, very
Yes.
effective in preventing the uh, uh, development, the pathological path
pathophysiology.
into getting worse from my from correct? Am I right in saying that, doctors?
Yes.
Preventing it from getting worse. In other words, uh, let's talk about maybe we can talk about safety and possible side effects, future side effects with the use of leronlimab. Of course, that's primary concern.
Yep.
Dr. Randy?
Yes. I knew that in order for the FDA to approve it in the Philippines, I needed to prove that it was safe. So I signed a non-disclosure agreement with Cytodyn in the US for the safety profile of the drug. And they gave me a 5,000 page long document that I'm sorry, Cytodyn, but I have not gone through most of it yet.
You
I
will
just
want.
I just looked at the highlights, and this is the takeaway from the Ronimab. This was the safety data from the HIV trial, and you're talking about over 800 patients, some of them being on leronlimab for over 5 years, and adverse side effects. Anybody interested to know adverse side effects?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Zero.
Oh my
I'm not
God. Yeah.
kidding you.
Oh my
I'm not
God.
kidding you. There were just some complaints of some headache and occasional diarrhea, some irritation in the injection site, but apart from that, no serious side effects.
And how many
Eight,
years was this? How many years was the test?
five, 5 year. Some
Oh.
patients on it for 5 years straight,
Oh.
and this was done. This review was done in over 800, close to 900 patients.
Wow. Do you have to sign some sort of we
Iggy,
can't
I don't
sue
think we
the
can hear you.
manufacturer thing when hello? Can you hear me, Doc Randy?
Iggy, I can hear you,
Oh,
Francis, but I can't hear Iggy.
okay,
I think
Iggy,
Iggy
do
was.
you have a
Yeah,
question, Doc Iggy?
it says Doc Iggy's muted again. Doc, you have the same
You're
problems we
muted,
had
Doc Iggy.
earlier. You'll have to
You're muted.
unboot, unplug and replug,
Okay.
or like whatever you did before. You'll have to do it again now. I just posted the
Yeah.
link, but we've already got comments coming in, so obviously someone was able to find us really easily.
What about the comments?
Yeah.
No,
Mary,
no,
some comments?
yeah, just the one for now.
Okay, Doc Randy. Oh, here, fun fact. We're
Can you
Oh,
read?
yes, this is
only
the
to 40.
CD10 trial. It showed that
Okay.
leronlimab was even safe, had even less side effects than placebo. Can you just imagine that? It's even
Okay,
safer
okay.
than placebo.
Can you
Okay.
hear me now?
Yes, you're
Yes.
good now.
Okay.
Yeah. Randy, those patients who are on 5 years leronlimab, what set of patients are these that would require 5 year
5 years,
continuing
yeah, of
course of
treatment.
Yeah, yeah.
and of course no side effects. So
correct. This initial review was done in HIV patients. Unfortunately, HIV patients require some form of their treatment for the rest of their lives, unless, of course, there were 3 cases that have been that have shown that they were cured by after a bone marrow transplant, and apparently the bone marrow that was the donor had a mutation in the gene that encoded for viral entry of HIV. So they were immune. They suddenly became immune to HIV. These were HIV patients that had bone marrow transplants, and there were 3 patients or 3 recorded patients of cure. But apart from this, there is still no cure for HIV. So these patients still require some form of treatment or therapy for the rest of their lives. And in this case, it was leronlimab.
And therefore, with COVID cases, you probably just need maximum of 4 doses. So that even drops the
Yeah, I think the most that were in the protocol, at least, I think it was just 3 doses.
Yeah.
But most would recover with just 2.
Wonderful. Okay. Mari will be back. He messaged me. Any more questions, Doc Iggy, regarding this wonderful drug, leronlimab, ladies and gentlemen? In the
Well,
Philippines, we have it now, no? Okay.
a
Again, Doc
money
Iggy?
question is always there among Filipinos. We're not a rich country, so how much will the
Okay.
dose you think will it
Yeah,
cost? How much will it
unfortunately,
cost?
unfortunately, I don't have that answer. I'm leaving that up to Chiral Pharma and Cytodyne in the US to determine price points, and I'm hoping that it won't be as expensive. But even though it was $1,200, $1,200 per dose, you require 2 doses. That's $2,400. Let's just say, as a comparative
Benchmark.
price
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
still
that will
cheaper.
yes, that will still be covered by PhilHealth coverage for severe COVID. So still have change to pay for your hospital bill. So that's still quite affordable.
Yeah. We
And,
also heard
and
of the horror stories of after COVID is gone, but they still stay in hospital for a month or so, and then so if they get treated
yeah,
for COVID early on, it would have saved them thousands as well,
Perhaps
exactly.
millions as well.
Correct.
millions.
Exactly.
Yeah, millions. Correct.
And those that are in the hospital are given the wrong drug. That is the sad.
No,
That is the sad
no.
thing in it. Okay, with compassionate use. With compassionate use, authority, do the patients have to pay for the drug, or does the government pay for the drug?
I believe there'll be some payment for at least for shipping and transfer and importation. Those things needs to be covered. So I believe there'll be, but um, the principle in the U.S. They you know their intention is really just to be able to offer a drug that is available and will be proven to be of benefit to of the of all those suffering from severe critical COVID. Their intention is really it, to earn is just secondary to them. To help is
Correct.
really primary.
Yeah.
In
Now I'll
fact,
ask you a
they
question
were
that
they were actually Iggy, sorry, but
yeah.
um, they were even offering to cover for the first 100 vials for
Oh,
free
wow.
to the Philippines. So
Okay.
if you are interested, you just get a CSP. Um, they'll
But you have to be
people
sick. Don't
if
just volunteer
Ideally.
if you're not sick.
to be honest with you, if it were
Uh,
legal, then I'd probably have my own stock of leronlimab
Yeah.
available at home.
Don't you
It
have a
was
special
we
rejected
have.
quota?
also.
I think you should have a
No,
special quota, Dr. Nicolas, because you brought it here to the
no,
Philippines.
I haven't. No, I don't receive anything from doing this. I have absolutely no
Okay.
connection with
So,
Cardinal or with Cytodine. No.
okay, disclosure. Now you're doing a disclosure, Doc Randy. You have
Yes.
nothing to do with the company.
No, I'm not connected
Uh,
with either.
okay, any stocks?
To tell you honestly, because of the impressive, absolutely impressive results of this molecule, it was like a no-brainer.
To buy
It's a
socks. Yeah.
no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm buying
it's a
mine tomorrow.
no-brainer. Yeah, I,
I'm buying my
I,
stocks.
I found a way. I bought in. That's it.
Ah. So now,
So did you find a way?
I found a way to invest. I invested in the company. That's
okay,
about it.
good. Yep,
Okay,
that's a
now
disclosure.
this is
Yeah.
a
And
question that would
you're
make
not
it.
selling your stocks, right, Doc Randy? In the near
Not
future.
anytime
Absolutely
soon.
not.
Absolutely not.
You'll,
It'll be a
you'll pry it
lousy
out
time
of
to
my
sell.
dead hand.
Okay,
Yeah.
this was. I don't know if we were able to complete this earlier, Doc. Did you tackle this already?
Okay.
Oh
What is
yes,
this?
yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
this
Yeah.
is good. Okay,
This
then,
is remarkable. This is he's quoting the CD10. This was done in mild moderate, and it showed that there was
Okay.
a 64% reduction in serious adverse effects. Just
Yeah.
imagine you have a
That
Okay.
drug
was the.
that's even
Yeah.
safer than placebo. Just remarkable.
okay.
Wow.
Do you feel
But he gave
99?
you a number. Can you hear me, Randy? He gave you a number, 64%. I know this is a big question to ask, but you'll be the only person we can ask in the Philippines. If this were used today, what percentage of severe cases would have been prevented from dying?
Wow.
Oh, that is a difficult question to answer. I probably would be able to
Give
answer
me give
that.
me a ballpark figure. I know you have the results. You're the only one who said seen the
Yeah,
complete set of tests. Yeah.
I'll I'll reserve my answer to that once I have the CD12 data unblinded to me. And we're looking at maybe in a matter of days. We're looking at a matter of days, maybe a week
Okay.
before we get the phase 3 CD12
Okay. So
unblinded
now
data.
they will have to watch the next episode.
Absolutely.
Assuming you get the CD12.
Okay, but I think you've answered the question. Is this really a safe drug to take? I think you've answered that question, right? It's 100% safe.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure sounds
Yeah.
like it to me.
And the real time, may I add, the real time effect of all these, whether it be ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine and the Leronlimab now, is that we've completed the arsenal in a sense that
Right.
if a patient, if a COVID
That's
positive
correct.
patient comes in whatever stage, he has the armor or he has the meds
We have the
to
weapons we
treat
need.
him. And therefore, yeah, we have the weapons against it. And now we can begin to lift the lockdowns. That's the,
Yes.
I think that is the end, get our economies going
That's right.
without
Yeah.
fear. Correct?
That's
Doctors.
that's
Yes.
Technical question here
flatten the
from
fear first, then yep, reopen the economy.
Deerfield99 asks,
Yeah.
how does CCR5 MOA help critical severe patients' lungs to recover as they cannot breathe?
That's a that's a that's another webinar in itself. The mode of action actually is if you block rantes. Rantes is if you think about cytokine storm as a weed, you won't kill the weed by cutting off the branches. That's what if you take a monoclonal against interleukin 6, for example, you're just trimming off a branch of the cytokine weed. You need to get the root, and the root is rantes. If you tackle the root, then you shut down the cytokine storm. You realign your immune system previously from an inflammatory state to an anti-inflammatory state. And that's how your lungs recover because your lungs no longer leak fluid. You start reabsorbing all the fluid that had leaked out, and then you don't, the immune system now is realigned to defend against the virus and not kill your own infected cells as well. So that's how it works. But that's just touching the surface of its mode of action.
Arcadius has a comment regarding our technical issues from earlier. He says, "Big Pharma caused the crash." Yeah.
We were sabotaged. In other
Jenner
words.
asks, "How many more treatments until we stop doing nothing in hopes of a vaccine?" That's a question only the
Yes.
Department of Health can
Yeah.
answer, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
H4L
Okay.
Jig says the price should be less than remdesivir. I don't know, actually. I think there's a lot more research and involved in technology involved in producing
It should be. It
leronlimab.
should be less for something that doesn't work.
No, I can actually answer that.
You mean remdesivir should be less because it doesn't
Yeah.
work now?
Should be.
I,
Should be
I
free.
actually can, I actually can answer that because
Okay.
remdesivir is an antiviral. It's a whole
Okay.
different class. Leronlimab is a humanized monoclonal antibody. So they're a whole different class of medications. So the price point is very, very different.
All right. D. Michael
Very,
Sweetnam,
very what? Doctor,
Very,
if
very
you
different.
repeat, please.
It'll be
Very
very different.
very different.
In whose favor? In whose favor?
I guess leronlimab's favor because that's the only drug that will work.
Okay.
They have the
You're
advantage.
just talking about remdesivir.
Okay.
Michael Sweetnam asks, why is there not a greater buzz around this drug within the medical community in general?
You'd be surprised at how many doctors don't even know about leronlimab. The concentration of many of the journals, many of the articles that have come out have been geared towards other established or approved treatments, antivirals, other anti-inflammatory agents, and recently vaccines. So the sheer volume of literature that you need to pore over just to get into and isolate this molecule, leronlimab, you're talking about maybe 5 studies. It takes a lot of digging and a lot of investigating. So I'm not surprised that just a few doctors are aware of this.
H4L Jig says, from the EIND data, it showed it dropped the death rate to around 17%. He says that's 17% in the worst cases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're talking about when the mortality was close to 90%.
Okay, Lee asks, can leronlimab be given to mild or moderate patients in the Philippines?
Oh, that's a good question. The initial phase 2 trial, that was the CD10 trial, was done in mild moderate. And it showed that if you take it, I think just one dose. There was one YouTuber who had COVID, and she did not know. She was blinded what drug was given to her. So she was not definite whether it was placebo or leronlimab. But in her testimony, she said she believes it was leronlimab because 3 days after getting the first injection, she was off oxygen. So she said, no, it has to be leronlimab. So she was out the hospital, I think, after 9 days total in the hospital. So it can be given for mild moderate, but the price point will not justify giving it too early because you have proven medications like hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin. You just correct your vitamin D deficiency and take your vitamin C and zinc, and you'll be recovering even without leronlimab.
Yeah.
But
As you also know, mild
Yeah.
forms more than 95%
Correct.
get better even without treatment.
Yeah.
So you really have to weigh whether you're going to use a little bit of an expensive drug.
Jenner says they will only lift lockdowns if they can credit a vaccine themselves.
Yeah.
Doc, easy on the mention of hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin because your classmates might get mad at you and call you.
You said they were
Hey,
proven medicine.
Yeah. Actually, Randy and
The
myself
World
are
Health
classmates.
Organization does not like.
Yeah, we're classmates, and Randy
Yeah.
does not post on our class Viber group, but I do.
So you get off.
So I keep telling them that this works, and they keep telling me that vaccines is the way to go. So it's a good
Uh,
debate among doctors. We'd like to debate. There's no blocking me because I say this. So that's how it is,
but
right? That's how
Facebook
it
has
should be.
blocked you.
But don't get
Facebook
us
has
Yeah.
blocked
wrong.
you. Uh,
Don't get Doc Iggy and myself wrong. We're not anti-vaccine.
yeah.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
The question I believe
Good.
is just the methodology. We're just questioning the methodology, and what's there to hide if the methodology was good, if the you know safety profile is good, then what's there to hide? What's there to be scared about? We're not anti-vaccine, of course not.
All
Yeah.
right.
In fact,
Francesca
the
Delger.
reason there are people who are called anti-vaxxers is because they don't address the criticism directly. They stop name calling. They call them anti-vaxxers. If you just address the questions directly, I think everything would be
Okay.
cleared out.
Yeah.
All
Yep.
right. Francesca has a comment.
Francesca, what did she say?
The media conglomerates are heavily
Francesca.
invested in big pharma. They aren't going to promote a drug from a little company, and that's what Cytodine isn't it? A
Yes.
small company.
You know,
Yeah, it
this
is.
is a proverbial David versus Goliath story, and
Yeah.
David
The long shot.
being cytidine. Yeah.
All right,
Aren't we
let's,
a media
uh,
conglomerate, Mari? Aren't we both a media
CDCPH is a media conglomerate.
promoting?
That's it for our questions. So what
Okay.
else have we not covered here, Doc Randy and Doc Iggy?
Uh-huh.
We lost Doc Homer, unfortunately.
Yeah, Doc Randy,
He
what
never
else have
returned.
we not covered? What else about Leronlimab?
Well, I think we've touched on every base now. Yeah.
So the,
Yeah.
the the
Okay.
name Virologics is a reference to what? Is it not going to be the brand name? Is that what is it?
Yes, that's the brand name for the preparation that is available for HIV. That will be available for HIV once the BLA gets approved, and that's the
Okay.
preparation also that'll be available for COVID once the EUA is approved.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, because
leronlimab isn't exactly
Leronlimab.
easy. Easy to
Yeah,
pronounce.
yeah. And the only
Yeah.
way I remember it is Leron Sinta. Then add five, lima. Leron lima. That's how I remember it.
For
I'm gonna let
It's a song.
okay.
I'm gonna let Francis read this so I don't buckle on it.
Okay, neutralizing MABs versus immunomodulatory
Wow.
MABs.
Way to go. You did
Okay,
it.
I
Congratulations.
understand that now, Chris. Okay, but I'll let Dr. Randy explain.
By the term neutralizing MABs, I think they're pertaining to antiviral monoclonals. You develop a monoclonal antibody that targets the spike protein of the virus, and immunomodulating like leronlimab that quells the cytokine storm. I think that those are two different modes of action. But if they develop a monoclonal against COVID, then well, congratulations, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Finally, H4L Jig says, I believe leronlimab should be given in the moderate phase of COVID, but the patients need to be evaluated by the News 2 standard to target the people at higher risk.
Yeah.
Our
This
doctors
will
agree.
belong to the
Okay.
subset that would likely die from the disease.
Okay.
Okay. It's very good news tonight, Mary.
Yep.
Another
Fantastic.
weapon up our sleeves.
Yeah,
And,
actually, leronlimab fills in that gap that we have at
Yeah.
the moderate to severe cases that are already in hospital. We
Yeah.
have a gap there, and they're asking us what happens if they get into hospital.
Here's the answer.
What
Correct.
happens if you get to ICU? And I couldn't give them an answer
Okay.
until Dr. Randy Nicolas brought it here.
Wonderful, Dr. Randy. And may I add, Iggy, we were talking about, Iggy and I and Mary were talking to certain people today, Dr. Randy, about reopening up the economy and having a plan to reopen up certain parts of our country here in the Philippines with a focus protection plan and early treatment
The early,
protocols,
yeah,
prophylaxis. And this is perfect because it covers the late stage, and if ever there is a somebody who gets in sick within the area of our coverage, we will feel
So can we
safe. The
stop calling
person will
our can
recover.
we stop calling our protocols as early treatment? We can just say treatment.
That's
Yes,
right.
all stages,
Yeah.
all
Point. Yeah.
stages.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the treatments available, the effective treatments available, and
Yeah. Very soon
without the side
we'll wait
effects.
for the unblinding, right, Dr. Nicolas?
Yes, we're hoping within
Okay.
days from now.
Within days. Yeah.
Days.
Yeah.
So
Fantastic.
Yeah.
next week. Next week.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
If we don't get the results by Wednesday, we'll
Okay.
be talking about what is it, ivermectin first, Doc Iggy and Francis.
Yeah. Yep.
Do we tackle
And focus
hydroxychloroquine
protection
first
plan.
or ivermectin?
Well, any of the two. Ivermectin now, I believe, shows more promise and, I mean, shows better results. It's not that HCQ had bad results, but ivermectin seems to be leading the race in terms of efficaciousness or effectivity against COVID.
What do you
Right.
think, Doc Iggy?
Okay?
Agree?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's very promising. Of course, they don't have as many studies, but I think they
Mm-hmm.
already have at least 70 studies. So some people say you just need 10 studies, but they have more than that.
Yeah.
One meta-analysis, I believe, as well on
Yeah.
ivermectin. Yeah.
Yes, yes, that's right.
All right.
Okay.
So on that happy note, we want to thank everyone. Doc Randy Nicolas, Doc Iggy Agbayani, and Francis Abraham, thank you very much. And to all our viewers and commenters, thank you very much for joining the show. We'll see you next Wednesday again at 7 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.
Oh, this is new. I
Goodbye.
love you, Korea. Okay.
Goodbye.
Good night.